We're live.
Excellent.
Dennis Patrick. Hello, everybody. Hi. My name is Kristen. I am here on the Dixie Belle main page. Let me know that if you can see and hear okay. My picture's glitching a little bit, so when you come on, please say hi. Let me know if you can see okay and where you're watching from. So, I have had some creative block on this table. Let me tell you. Hi, Joy. So this table has been in my workshop for quite a while. This is painted like probably 6 months ago. And Anchor in the silk line, it's got some dings on there since. I have like, I don't know, salt water I think on top. One of the whites in the silk line. Because I thought maybe I'd decoupage on it. I just wasn't sure. I was having a creative block and I just realized one of my favorite things to do when I have a creative block is to break out Terra Clay Paint because there's no rules and it's so much fun. So I figured, okay, that's gonna help me get started and come up with an idea. And then as I'm really looking at it, I look at this cute little cutout detail. It might be hard to see on camera. And then that reminded me of the bone inlay stencil. So now I have an idea and we're gonna paint. So this, I have the bone inlay stencil. It's a Mylar stencil. It's part of the new release. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Nikki. Hi, everybody, and Judy. So it's part of the new release, the bone inlay stencil. I have mine cut up. So let me show it to you. But I realized how perfect this stencil is with this detail on this pretty table. So I'm going to paint some Terra on it today. And then later in the week, I'll probably do it live in the Bells and Whistles group, or in the Terra group, whichever one, and I'll stencil on it using some of the bone inlay stencil. I just want to show you real quick what you get with the stencil. It's all cut up, sorry, just to keep myself a little bit more organized. So this is what really reminded me of it. I think this will look so pretty. I'll just piece them together in this one. It just reminds me of that little detail, and I thought it was perfect for it. So excited. And I figured, so then I had to decide, okay, do I do neutral and then stencil in bright colors, or do I stencil kind of like in brighter colors and stencil in neutrals? And I decided at the last minute to do some of the brighter colors. And then when I stencil it, I'll probably use Moonbeam and Desert Tan and kind of fade in and out and do that like effect, I'm thinking. But before I can do that, I have to paint. So I got some paint out already. I'm going to show you the colors we're going to be working with. This is Galaxy. I love this color palette in the silk line, in the Terra line. I love using these colors together. They blend so well together. I love the results it gives. So this one is Galaxy. It's a really dark, like blue, green undertone color. And then this is London Blue, which is really pretty as well. It's more of a green blue, like a tealy green blue. And then this is Blue Agave, which is one of my favorites as well. And they just work so well together. So I figured we would just get started. So I'm just gonna lay down some colors. I got some of my brushes out. Let's see, I wanna keep them in order. So this is my Galaxy, the darkest color. Then I used the London Blue on this one, and then I got these guys for blending and for some of the Blue Agave. Okay, let's get started. So when you use the Terra Clay Paint, there's really no rules. The only rule is that you do have to seal it once you're happy with the finish, because it does get reactivated by water no matter what. So once you're happy, lock it in there with your sealer. I like to use a clear coat sealer. I'll use the Terra Flat, which is the flat sealer, or I might use satin or the Terra Tough, the gator hide, whichever one. And a lot of times I like for this one, once I'm happy with the finish, I'm going to lock it in there and seal it, and then I'm going to stencil over it. So I won't be able to do all that today, but we're going to get started by laying down our groundwork. Hi, Tammy. You love the blues? Let me say hi. Hi, Jill. Hello, Angela. Hi, Amy. Noreen, my friend Noreen is here. Hi, Noreen. So it's so nice to see everybody. Okay, so let's get started. We are going to get started. And I want to show you a cute project I did in about like 10 minutes today. It's really adorable. Okay, so I'm just going to get started, and I'm using the darker color kind of first down below, and I'll work my way up. And I did do the other side one coat real quick. Let me move you in so you can see better. And that way we can put a second coat on there during the live. Let me get this up close and personal so you all can see better. Where are we? Where am I going? There we are. That's better. That is better. So I'm just going in first with the darker color, which is Galaxy this time. And you can see I did a little bit on the top, on this bottom shelf here. One quick little coat. And I just love painting with Terra, and I just found, for me, I just had such a creative block with this table, and I just knew that if I came in here and I used Terra, it's just going to open up my creativity. It just has that effect on me. Have you guys found that? Let me know if you have tried Terra and if you have found that effect for you as well. All right, so now I'm going to go in my second color, the medium color, and that's London Blue. And I do like to use synthetic brushes. They blend so well together. The natural bristle brushes. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. I like to use natural bristle brushes with Terra. I feel like the bristles just kind of pick up the paint and deposit it correctly. A lot of these are hybrid brushes, so they do have some synthetic bristles in there as well as natural hair bristles, and they just work so well together. It's just the funnest time. It's the funnest time. And now I'm just going to use a premium chip brush in the middle here, and then I'm going to back it up so we can see better, and then we'll blend it, and you'll see how quick it is to paint with Terra. I do like to do 2 coats regardless. So there is a coat on the back side, but I literally just painted that on there right before we went live, just so we could do the second coat live tonight. And I'll probably have to come in here with like a little artist brush to get in the little crevices, or who knows, maybe we'll highlight it with gilding wax. We just don't know what we're gonna do until we're doing it, right? That's how I have felt lately about painting. Sometimes I just can't plan it out, and I just have to go for it. So now to blend the Terra, I love the Big Daddy brush, and I love the Bastang brush. So I kind of use them for different purposes. Hi, Betty. So I love to just kind of meld the colors together and bring them all together and soften the lines with the Big Daddy brush. I love this brush so much. It just kind of works out all the kinks in your finish. And then I love this if I want to do like a little cloudy type of blend that's down here. So I'm going to show you the difference. And you want to have your mister bottle, and it's okay to use both. You can be double-fisted with your blending brushes. It is fine, you guys. It's totally allowed. Kimberly, hello, my love. So it's okay to be double-fisted with your blending brushes, okay? And then I'm just going to get a little spritz of water. And first, I'm going to use the Big Daddy. And now I'm just kind of running those colors together. Just a nice little melding color together. And I know some of this is off camera, so I might go back, push the table back a bit as well. And then if you want more of like a cloudy blend, which we will do on the top, we'll move into that next. I like to use the Bastang brush. And I also like this, it just kind of is going to pick up any excess paint so you don't get drips and runs, and in case you have any extra paint in there, it just is going to move it around just perfectly. So why don't we move to the top, because I think we can all see that better. And I will bring this in, and I'll come stand up behind here. So let's do that. And then remember, so then when this is all done, I'm going to seal it in there, and then I'm going to come back with Moonbeam and Desert Tan. I'm thinking. Tell me if you think this is a good idea. And then I'm going to use some of the Bone and Life stencils and kind of do an in and out little soft blend, whooshy whoosh, a whoosh. I'm going to whoosh stencil it, where it whooshes from one color to the other. That's what I'm thinking. All right, so let me come up close so you guys can see the top way better. In fact, it might even be better facing this way. Let's see. Let's see. So can you guys see the top good here? Or do you see it better like that? Probably like that. Let's do it like that. Okay. So this is how so now we can see the top. So this is either, I can't remember if this is, it's one of the whites in the silk line. And again, I was just prepping it to do a decoupage or something like that. It's been in my garage for a while, and I cleaned it off today, and I said, it's time, baby. It is time. I'm going to move my paint up here so y'all can see it. We're going to get our 3 primary brushes to go first. So we got our darkest brush again, Galaxy, that gorgeous, gorgeous dark blue-green, like it does look like the Galaxy. Then London Blue, which is the darkest teal with a blue undertone. It's so beautiful. That green and blue in there is just gorgeous. And then Blue Agave, which is so pretty. All right, so I'm just going to kind of go from the outside in. So we're going to do our darkest color first. And remember, the awesome thing with Terra is if I got called away right now, if I just got like 2 tickets to Paris all of a sudden, I could leave this all here, even my brushes, and pick it up when I got home a week from now and pick up right where I left off. My brushes would be fine. I could wash them out. I could reactivate them. Everything would be fine. I wouldn't worry about the finish, how I left it half undone. I could pick up right where I left off and continue to blend and apply the paint and have a good time. So that's really one of the benefits of Terra and why it's so good that it does reactivate with water, because not only can you get a lot of different paint effects by reactivating it, but if you have to put down your project and you have to get back to real life or something, it's there for you when you are ready again. So I'm probably going to get a little chip brush to get in those little corners there, but let's just get our first coat down. We're just getting our first coat down. So I do have a little of the white showing through. That's okay. I always do 2 coats anyways. So we just want to get down our first coat. I just want to make sure I don't have any standing like buildup of paint. So I'm just working that paint. Don't be afraid to work your paint. Now I'm going to go in with a little of our London Blue. And I'm just going to brush it on there. In no particular order. Because we're gonna do a cloudy blend all together. So all of these colors are going to meld together. They're going to form their own separate little colors. And they're going to look so pretty together. So I'm just getting some of the paint on there. I'm not too worried about placement of the paint because I am going to use a lot of water and blend them together. And you don't have to do it this way. You could put different spots of the paint in different areas on your table and then blend it around for that cloudy blend. And again, I'm doing a thin coat because I will be coming and doing a second coat. Now, one thing when you do work with the natural bristle brushes, I have to practice saying that so I don't trip on my words, is you will have a little bit of fallout from the bristles. No big deal, just pick them out and pretend they were never there. Sorry guys, you cannot stay and hang around. I do find that the Big Daddy doesn't shed and the Belle really doesn't shed that much. I just know that when I use a chip brush, I might get that shedding. And actually this is a new one and I did not prime it by washing it first. Alright, so again, first things first, here's just to show you the difference. Now this way you're just kind of softly running your colors together. You're picking up any excess paint back onto your bristles and redepositing them around. So that's a great way. Oh look, we can get in the corners with that brush. That's cool. So it's a great way to avoid product buildup is with this Big Daddy brush. It is such a great brush. I love this brush. If you watched last week, we used the Big Daddy, not this one, but a different one that I used just for sealing, to seal some over some decoupage tables. And I'm telling you what, I was really happy with the results the next day. I let it dry overnight, and then I put another coat of gator hide on it with the Big Daddy, and I was really happy. All right, so now I'm going to use, I'm not really after this look. I want more of that cloudy blend. I just wanted to show you what the different brushes can do. So now I'm just going to do this little thing. And again, this is just the first coat, so it will need a second coat. it will need a second coat. I'm going to come up right after we go over this and see what y'all are saying. What are you all saying? So what do you think? Do you think stenciling in those two colors, Moonbeam, which is white, and Desert Tan, which is a tan color, reminiscent of the desert, would you think that is a good idea for stenciling? And again, there won't be any harsh lines with the stenciling. I'll go from like Moonbeam softly into Desert Tan, back to Moonbeam, back and forth again. I think that would look kind of cool with that stencil. I'm loving the Bone and Lace stencil. There are so many uses for it. I just love it. So the first coat is pretty, you know, it's a thin coat. So we're just gonna need definitely a second coat. I just don't want like swirly lines with my blend. I want more of a short little blend. You can also pounce, and that gives you a really cool look. Let me show you up here. If you pounce it, that can give you a really cool look too. It gives you a little texture as well. As you know, that the Terra does not self-level, so you can get some beautiful textured looks with your Terra paint. I'm going to go back through with my Big Daddy right now because this is not, I just want my first coat to look like, you know, decent, and I'm not liking it so far. That's okay. That's okay. Let's see what we can do with this. It's just that it's so thin. I want to bring some of that Blue Agave up into the corners, that lighter color. So let's sweep some up there. And remember, you can always spray your brush. I got some paint on there. I'm not going to re-dip it in there. I'm actually just going to spray it. That reactivates it. And I'm going to deposit a little bit more down on there. And you can still see the silk white color underneath. That's okay. We will get it where we want it. We will get it where we want it. We're going to go back around on the other side now and put the second coat on from where we first started. I had put that on right before we went live. So we're going to go over. I'm going to turn it around to the other side. Let me grab my paint over here. I'm going to put my paint, my Mr. bottle, get all my supplies over here. There we go. And now we're going to go back to this side. Back to this side, guys. So this is after one coat. Now we're going to go put our second coat on, and you're going to see the difference. Why those two coats make all the difference when you're painting. But first, I want to come say hello. I want to come say hello to you guys first. Put my stencil there. And let's see what everybody is doing. Hello, everybody. How are you tonight? If there are any questions, I will make sure to go through and look for any questions so I can answer anything. Hi, Diane. Hello, everybody. It's so nice to see you guys. You guys know how much I love Monday nights. I love hanging out here on Monday nights with my Dixie Belle friends. Okay, now I can see. Now I can see. Okay, well, we're giving that a minute to dry. This is still the first coat. You like that idea, Nate? Okay, I'm so glad to hear that. Amy's using the bone inlay now. Oh my goodness, we didn't even plan that, Amy. I love it. I love it. Hi, Lisa. Hello, Rosella. How are you tonight? Oh, Jill, thank you so much. You guys, while this is drying, we're gonna put a second coat on there real quick. It's gonna happen. I'm glad Tammy likes that idea too. Okay, good. I'm glad, because the Big Daddy for big jobs. You got that right, Betty Hiltz. It is absolutely the brush for a big job. All right, so we're gonna do the second coat, but I just want to show you. I think this is so cute. I have to show you guys. Okay. Oh, remember? Okay, you guys, remember, Betty, because you reminded me of this. Look tomorrow on my page, Lost and Found Mercantile. There's going to be a funny video from last week. Remember the debate about what color to put around the edge of the table? It's going to be funny. Okay, so I'm loving the new Bells and Whistles release. I'm going to get a little bit of glare from the light here, but this was a clock from the thrift store, and so I didn't have to paint it. It was just a paper backing, so took everything apart, cleaned this really well. This was wood. I used White Magic and Voodoo gel stain just as like a whitewash look, and put the little crane down with a little leaf from the Elegant Avian, or the Avian Flora, Elegant Avian Flora, the smaller transfer, and now he is like, and then he's styling. And he's styling. I don't have a battery in there yet, so it's not working. Just got to put the battery in there, but isn't he cute? And I'll have to show you what it looked like before. It was just a boring clock from the thrift store. It was just like, I mean, it probably took 10 minutes total to do that update to a clock. I just thought that was so fun. I thought that was so fun. Okay, I had to show you guys because I knew you guys would understand my excitement. All right, so now we're going to go in. It's dry to the touch. Oh, yeah. Let's go put our second coat on here. And we're going to get started. I want to make sure, see if I missed anything first. Everybody. Do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do. Hi, Tammy Morin. How are you today? Okay. All right, so now we're going to go back. We're going to put our second coat on. Again, we're going to start from the darker color and work up. So you guys can see both legs from there, right? Because last time I know it was a little awkward. So let me try it from this angle, and then I will bring it up closer. So first things first, we're going to do our darker color, which is Galaxy. And I'm just going to just give it a little squirt. You can always give your plate or your paint a little mist of water too. Your brushes, it just kind of reactivates the paint that's already on there. Hi, Dawn. Dawn is here. So you guys remember, if you are retailers, make sure you are putting your Facebook page and your location in the comments. You just never know. You might have somebody right down the street that is watching, and then they will know where to go to get their Dixie Belle. I'm just brushing on this second coat. Now I want to talk to you about what the paint looks like as you're painting it and as it dries. So you can see right here, as I'm putting it on, it's darkening up the color that it was. And you're like, well, why is that happening? Well, it's because the paint is wet and it is so porous, so it is showing that. It's just soaking it in there like a terracotta pot. When you hose it down, how it gets deeper and darker, that's the same effect as the Terra Clay Paint. As it dries, it lightens up, and it gets to the color that it's intended to be as when it's dried. So the dried color is the color that it's intended. Now you can, you'll also notice when you seal it, the same thing will happen. You might be like, oh my gosh, I got my colors just how I wanted them, and now I'm sealing it and it's altering the color. But all it's really doing is, it's so porous, the clay paint is so porous that it is like taking in that water from your sealer, and it's like, hallelujah, I'm hydrated, this is awesome. So it's getting a little bit darker. But as it dries and the water evaporates, it will get back to that color again, to your dried color again. So don't worry when you see that happen. You're doing it right. You are doing it right, my friends. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way it's designed. All right, so maybe we can get our nice cloudy blend going down here. We're just going to get some paint on. Again, I'm using Galaxy first, which is the darker color. There's so many beautiful colors you can use together with the Terra Clay Paint, and you can also mix them together and make your own colors. You can always go into the Color Lab on the Dixie Belle website and play around with different colors and ratios of colors and see what you can do. I know they had some really cool ideas out a little while ago. Dixie Belle, every once in a while, they'll put out some little custom mixes, and they're so fun. I always want to try them. Okay, so I'm just getting the paint on there. And again, you can still blend with these brushes as you're applying it. If you're like, well, maybe I just want these two colors blended together with none of the lightest color on there, you can go ahead and do that. You can pounce it. You can do a cloudy blend, or you can do your regular like back and forth, just kind of like breaking up the lines blend. Whatever you want to do. Whatever your heart desires. While I'm here, I might as well get these areas going. Get a little paint on there. Get a little paint on there just to cover up Again, so I had silk and anchor on these forever. I wasn't sure what I was gonna do, and then I'm telling you guys, I've had creative block today, not just with this table, but just in general. And that's when I knew, I'm like, well, I know what that means. It means I gotta get some Terra out because it's like playing in the sandbox. For me, I love Terra. It's like playing in the sandbox. I'm just gonna do a little back and forth cross hatching to get that coverage, and then we'll spray it and we'll blend it. Get a little bit up there, just gonna get that coverage on there. I can come back and get the look I want better when I can get up close and personal to it, but for now I just want the colors showing. You know what I'm saying? All right, my Mr. Bottle. And again, you know, when you're blending your chalk paint, you are offloading that brush as much as possible. I have found with this color palette in particular, and like some of the other certain ones that I like to use with the Terra Clay Paint, I'm not really offloading as much, but I am gonna spray my brush and I'm gonna put it somewhere else on my project because I don't want to wash it down the drain. I want to use it. In fact, when I have my Terra out and I'm painting something like this, I have a couple small projects off to the side to offload my brush on because I want that pigment and I want that paint on a project and not down my drain. Not down my drain. I want it on something. So I actually have two little wood plaques off to the side that I will offload my brushes onto and then do something fun with that. Even if it just turns out to be a base for something else and I don't keep it those exact colors, you just don't know. So I always like to have something small to offload my brush onto when I'm painting with Terra. I just find that, can you guys see that? Here, let me come in better. I just find that so satisfying. It's such a good use of the paint as well. Look at these colors. I just am in love with this color palette. I love using these three colors together so much. Oh my gosh, look at that dreamy blend they create. Such a dreamy blend. It would be fun to like splatter some limeade or something on there too. That could be fun. But if I'm going to do that, I am going to seal all this first. I really like to work with 3 colors max at a time in Terra for something like this, for this type of a project. See, I'm using the paint on my brush to go over this instead of dipping it back into my plate, because I got plenty of paint on there and I want layers, and it just works. It just works. So we're going to do a little bit more blending here. I want to get a little of that brightness out to the sides. Can you guys see okay? La da da. La da da. So I will do the stenciling live in either the Terra group or the Bells and Whistles group, either probably Thursday or Friday, depending on my schedule. Because tomorrow, once I get this how I want it, I'm going to wait a day and then seal it. Then, once it's sealed, I can go in and stencil it. Now, you could stencil it right over here, but I would recommend always, once you get your layer looking how you want with Terra, lock it in there and seal it. Then go ahead in with your next layer of colors or your next effect. That way, in case you don't like it, it's very easy to wipe off. And the Terra is so porous that I just find, for me, I like the results better when I seal it and then go ahead and put my next layer on. Like, say if I was going to use pink and yellow, the daffodil and the bougainvillea, then I would seal it and then I would go in with those 2 colors, for example. Or like to stencil it, I'm going to seal it and then stencil it. I also feel like it gives you a little bit crisper lines when you stencil if you seal your Terra first. All right, so I like that so far. I also know that I can come in, like, see right up here. Let me bring you in so you can see. We're going to go in a little closer. You like the colors, Tammy? I am so happy to hear that. And let me see, I might have missed something. Please say again. Okay, so Betty, these colors are Galaxy, which is the darkest color here, London Blue, and Blue Agave. So the reason why I love these three colors together, they work so well together. They all have like a dark green undertone and a blue undertone. But really that green is very prominent in it, and it works so well with the blue in it as well. It's just such a gorgeous color palette together. I love using these colors together, and I don't like to use the same like color combinations over and over again, but this is one I never get tired of. The other two colors that go, well, there's a lot of color combinations that go well, but if you are new to Terra and you want to play with Terra and like blending with the Terra and all that stuff, another great one is the Elderberry and the Wisteria Mist. The two, the purple and then the lilac-y color, they also blend so gorgeously together. They really, they're just, I love them. I love them, you guys. Can you tell? Hey, Rhonda, how you doing tonight? So remember to put your Facebook page to all my Dixie Belle retailers out there. And if you're a content creator, brand ambassador, please make sure you are putting your Facebook page and where you're located in the comments so people can go find you. So far, so good. I see. Can you guys see that? So that's the second coat. I love it. I love it. I'm going to put some more right on here and blend that. And then we will probably be done for the night. I mean, live. I'm going to continue to paint because I got my paint out. Might as well keep painting. Am I right or am I right? So remember, you can always give your brush a mist and your plate a mist. It just works so well with Terra because it can get a little dry easily and quicker. But that's okay because you can just simply give it a nice little drink of water and it will perk right up again. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, it sure will. So we'll blend these together real quick. I'll get my hat out of the way. We'll get my hat out of the way. So the coverage, once the second coat goes down, the coverage is phenomenal. Now, a lot of times, you will get that beautiful coverage on the first coat. But this one, I needed that second coat. And I prefer to do 2 coats minimum of whatever paint I'm using, regardless. Okay, so I'm going to add a little tiny bit, just in case we need to pull some of that up there. And now we are going to give it a little spray. Again, let's go over this again. Okay, so if you want to more like, I want to move the colors and kind of blend them together. I want to get any excess product out of these lines in the insets. I'm going to come in first with this. It's going to work. It's going to just bring them together really nicely. I'm going to give it a little spray. And now I'm working that paint. It's giving me that coverage I want. It's smoothing it out. And it's softening those lines. And it's melding them together. Like they're meant to meet like that. I love it. And then we're going to go ahead. And you can just use this. You could do the whole effect with this. But, you know, we like to be a little extra here. So if we have the tools, we're going to use them, and we have them out, so we're going to use them. But so now I'm going to do a little, and again, remember, it's going to get a little darker. Our paint is getting darker because we have added water to it. So just like your terracotta pots that you like to clean out and hose down out in the garden and how they get darker, same thing happens with your Terra Clay Paint. So don't worry, it's going to dry how it's intended to dry. I just want to make sure I get a nice application everywhere. Like right here, I can see there's still some wood, some of the anchor showing. I'm going to take my Big Daddy and I'm just going to get right in there. That's going to work those pigments right across. You'll love it. Up and down. I just love this brush so much. So I'm going to come in with a little artist brush though. I'll probably do that in Blue Agave. It's just to give it a little brightness, which is, this is Blue Agave, the brighter color. Let's add a little bit more in there. Let's add a little bit in here. It's so much fun to paint with Terra. Ba, 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 ba. La, la, la. Okay. Now we're going to do little swirls. Little swirls, and we're going to check on the top. If we have enough time, you know what? Let me check the time. I don't want to bore you guys, but it might be dry enough to put a really quick coat on the top so you can see what a great job that second coat can do. But I'll make sure first that it's not, you know, I don't want to rush it. Yeah, I think we could do it. Let me check the time though. I haven't even checked in with you guys in the time. Let me see. 7:37. I don't know, you guys. That might be pushing it. I'm glad you like it, Deb. Let me just make sure everybody, if there's any questions. Rhonda's here from Rhonda's Creations and Collectibles. Make sure you go check out Rhonda's page. She does beautiful work. Dawn is here from Nash Altered Arts. She also does incredible work, so make sure you're following these ladies as well. I saw Diane from Vintage Finders is on here. And Jill from Simply Made Unique by Jill. So please go follow their pages. Oh, is that Pat? Pat is here. Pat, make sure you put your page in the comments and please go follow Pat. I'd love it if you guys would follow me at Lost and Found Mercantile. Okay, I'm gonna do the top. We're gonna do the top because why not? It's dry enough. I'm even gonna put my plate up on there. We're gonna go around this way again. This is gonna be, whoopsies, you don't wanna see down that hallway. That's my laundry room. That, you would be scared. It's where socks go to never find their match again. I don't know what it is about this house. It eats socks. It eats socks. Okay, so, can you guys see that okay here? And I might have to grab a little more paint. So let me get that going. Do the top, Amy says. Okay. Hi, Tamara. Thank you so much. That's so sweet of you to say. Hi, Moises. Okay, so we're gonna, I need a little more paint. So let me just scoop a little bit more out there. I have it at the ready right down here underneath with spoons already in it because I was hoping I would need a little more paint. And I knew I wanted to be ready, so I didn't want to take up your precious time, you guys. I'm just going to get a little bit more on there. So remember these all, so I'm painting out of the 16 ounces. I'm scooping out of 16 ounces, so it also comes in 4 ounces, which is another great way to like try out the different colors that Terra has. So you have your 16 ounce, which will last you a long time, and then you also have the 4 ounces. So make sure you're checking in with your retailers and to see if they are Terra retailers and if they're, you know, and if they have what you are looking for. And if they don't, they can get it for you. Okay, so I'm going to go in first with my brushes. So we're going to put this right, oh boy, this is kind of backed up here. I'm backed up against the wall. Okay, so first we're going to just go in with our Galaxy. Look at that gorgeousness. There's so many things you could do with this color palette. It goes with so many looks. Like, so I saw Tammy put beachy on there. I agree. It's totally beachy. It would be great. Boho, beachy, cottage. It looks good with so many different styles. It looks great with pinks, with bright colors, and it looks great with neutrals. It looks really good with yellows and greens. It's such a great versatile color palette, these three colors together. They're like, they just, I don't know, they must have designed them to work together because they just work so well together. So now I'm applying it more in a circular motion. That's giving me a little better coverage. I'm able to work it into all the little corners a little bit better. I'm giving it a little swirl as I go along to soften it up already. So we're doing that. And it's also working any excess product. There we are. It's working any excess product out of there. Okay, next up is our London Blue, which is the medium color that we're using. And again, I'm going to apply it in just a circular motion because I think we've decided on doing more of a cloudy blend on this. And once I'm happy with this, I'll seal it after I let it sit a day at least. Sometimes I wait longer. If you ever go to seal your Terra Clay Paint and you're pulling up a lot of the pigment, first off, just know that it can happen and it is natural. So always dispense your clear coat into a separate container. So you don't want to clear coat Terra straight from your jar. because it's really easy to contaminate it with the Terra, with the pigments from the Terra. It's just because it's clay paint. It's so dense and gorgeous. But if you do and you're getting a lot of pullback from it, just wait another day. Just wait another day and just know it's gonna be okay. Wait another day and know that it's gonna be okay. I think that could like rhyme for a song. Okay, so again, I'm just swirling it on there. So we're starting our swirly little motion already. So with this brush, I'm swirling those two colors together. It's creating its own color. And we can do that over here with these two colors. And then we'll go in with our best stain brush and we'll swirl them all together. But I am going to give it a little hit of water first. It needs a tiny bit of water. So here we go. So again, you can, if you're using a fine mist bottle, which is a bottle like this, you can spray your piece, you can spray your brush, it doesn't matter. If you're using like a spray bottle that's not fine mist, it's going to shoot out water at different levels, spray your brush. Or if you're dipping your brush into a jar of water and squeezing it out, then you can do that too, if you don't have the fine mist bottle. But I found the fine mist bottle is something that I use every single day. And I don't have to worry if I'm spraying my piece or I'm spraying my brush. Because I know my fine mist bottle is going to just give me enough water without changing my effect. So again, when you're blending, also the amount of pressure you're using is also a factor. So I use kind of a heavier pressure there. We're going to go like this, and then I'm going to use the Big Daddy, and then we're going to go over it one more time with the best stain. I'm going to offload it this time. Actually, nope. I'm going to offload it onto one of my wood plaques. I could actually offload it right here. I haven't painted the side yet. So, because I'm doing layers, I'm going to offload my brush onto my piece, or I'll have a picture frame nearby or something. I don't want to offload it because I'm a little cheap, I guess. You know? I just want to offload it on my projects. So let's get the Big Daddy out. And now I'm going to spray the brush. That's going to reactivate those little pigments on there. So I use them all up. And I'm just going to soften. Now with the softer hands, I'm just kind of like working any buildup of product around. Just back and forth. I'm going to go back over it now with the best stain brush so we get that cloudiness going again. I'm just going to pull some of that lighter color out to the sides. There we go. And now I'm going to give it one last little blend for the night. And then I'm going to come check in with you guys. I hope you guys have told me in the comments, I probably didn't ask you enough, if you have used Terra yet. Have you used Terra yet? And if you have, what colors have you tried? And if you haven't, what colors are you interested in trying? There is a Terra group. So Dixie Belle has a Terra page, which isn't active at the moment, but they also have a Terra group. So if you're not part of that group, I'll put it here in the comments when we're done. Go ahead and join that group. It's another fun group where you can see people are going to be posting tutorials and videos, maybe a few lives here and there. It's just another great Dixie Belle group to have a lot of fun in. And it's just, you know, we can all learn together. All right, so that's where we are for now. It's got to dry before I mess with it more. I got to give it a chance to dry. So, let's see. Let me come say hello. I want to end it on a swirly motion though. I really don't want the back and forth line, so I'm just giving it one last little swirly motion. I'll let it dry, and then I'll come back here in like half an hour and take a look at it. Okay, so let's see what you all think so far. Let's see. Come back around this way. because I still have to put a second coat and a first coat on the front, the back, and the sides. So I still have to work on that. But I do like this. This is drying. See how it's drying? This isn't the way it's going to look. It's some of it's wet, some of it's dry. So it looks a little wonky at the moment. Let's see. Hi, Nikki. Oh, I'm so glad you love it. So Rhonda has used most of the Terra colors. That is awesome to hear, Rhonda. That is incredible. Tammy says, so today there was a cute little table. I can hear my Tammy talking. There was a cute little table on the side of the road. Oh, she couldn't stop and get it. That would be perfect. You'll find the perfect thing, Tammy. Don't you worry. You will find the perfect thing to use it on. Sometimes we can't stop and pick up those roadside finds for a reason, and that's A-okay, because there'll be something else waiting for you when you're ready. Yes, Amy has used them all and loves them all. Nikki, you got to try the Terra, girlfriend. You will love it, love it, love it. Yeah, I know. So Tammy, I do offload when I use the chalk paint, but when I'm using the Terra paint, I offload onto something. Like I have 2 little tracks over here that I was going to offload onto, but I offloaded onto the table instead. I hope everybody has a great night. Thank you so much for being here. Go check out your local retailer. I'm going to put the link here where you can find your local retailer. Thank you so much. My name is Kristen. You can find me at Lesson from Mercantile. That's up above. If you're not following me, I sure would appreciate it so much. I'll see you next Monday night and maybe sometime this week in Bells and Whistles group or the Terra group. I want to do the stenciling on here live, so I'll do it in one of those groups. Probably not till Wednesday or Thursday. Everyone have a great, Wednesday or Thursday. Everybody have a great night. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Let me make sure there's no last minute questions. Nikki says something. Hugs to you, Betty. Thank you, Tammy. Nikki is looking for at a boring laminate side table at work. Oh, boy. Oh, I know, Nikki, right? Sometimes you don't know if it's worth, I know, I hear you. I know. Is it worth it or is it not? If it's something you can practice on and you don't have something to practice on, it's definitely worth it. If it's something utilitarian that you can use, it's definitely worth it. And have fun with it. That's what I always say. All right, guys, have a great night. Thanks again. Mwah. Love you all. Bye-bye.